Good morning. It isn't really a good morning. It's drizzling with rain. The forecast is rubbish, but the view is very nice. Look at that. It is gorgeous here. We're back at Marple Ridge, and today we are doing the locks, the Marple locks. It's Tuesday the 28th of March, by the way. We've got to make headway. Lots to talk about. We'll do that when we get going. We are very quickly approaching Marple Flight. A couple of bends and we're there. And more about the flight when we get going. I'm not going to film every lock. We've got 16 locks to drop down through today. This morning we're going to do the lot. I'm not going to film all of them. As I said on Heartbreak and Bosley, we'll just film the highlights and we'll get through them. But it's nice to see that Nikki's got the fire going. Yep, you can see the smoke coming out. We've had to take the chimney off. There are some very, very low bridges on this lock flight. So we took the big chimney off and just put the hat on. I didn't think the hat would fit in the collar there, but it does. So at least we can get it nice and warm for when we come back in a bit later. It is very, very cold this morning, but we moored there last night. We left Bogsworth Basin yesterday. We had a great time there, and more on that again when we get down the locks. We'll have a nice little chat. I just want to try and warm myself up a bit first. Nikki is a lot better at doing the fire than me. I think she has more patience, but I think we've got a new pope. So we're just going on the lock landing here at Marple Junction, and just that way is the Macclesfield. So here we are, the top of the flight. Young Lily's up there waiting for Chugs. We're just taking our time this morning. These locks apparently can be very, very hard work. They're the second deepest locks in the UK. They're going to drop us down 209 feet, and they were built in 1805. But they are really nice looking locks, picturesque locks actually, for the first few anyway. We had a bit of a walk yesterday. Now we went for a little walk up that road yesterday, and we found some old lime kilns here. There used to be an arm at the top. I think it went through the marina at the top. And we found these lime kilns, and they were a huge building. They used to be 3 stories tall with cottages built on for the workers at the end, but very little remains. It got demolished, I believe, in the 60s. But it's nice to see this little bit left, just to remind us of how it used to be. Yeah, these locks are very, very deep. I mean, that back gate there is very nearly 1.5 tons. Ah well, 1 down, 15 to go. They have some lovely little footbridges here on Marple Locks. Lovely. And talking of lime kilns, wow, Bogsworth Basin, what a fantastic place. The history there was phenomenal, and thank goodness there are people around that want to do the restoration projects that are on our waterways. It opened again in 2005. I think it closed in 1927, but it was once the hub of the British Canal network, shipping limestone around the country. Of course, limestone is used in many things. It's used in filtering water at sewerage works. It's used in cement and plaster. Limestone itself is used in buildings, so you can imagine back then it was used for everything. But what a beautiful place. We enjoyed ourselves there. We had 2 nights there. Had a great time, and it was lovely to see chugs moored in historical places, and looking back at the old photographs and imagining how it used to be. Obviously chugs wouldn't last 5 minutes carrying limestone, but it was nice to see and use our imagination a bit. We did, however, have another reason to be there as well. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago we had an invite off Paul. If you know Paul and Anthony on Narrowboat Life Unlocked, we had an invite to a bit of a secret gathering there, a little bit of a birthday party for Anthony. It was Anthony's 50th birthday well, I think it's not till Wednesday or Thursday this week, but they were having a bit of a gathering there on the Sunday, so we had an invite to try and get there for the Sunday. So we did, and that's why we did sort of go a little bit. It seems like we rushed, but we didn't. We looked at everything we needed to look at. But yeah, we got up that morning, had breakfast, sorted ourselves out, and then looked through the window, and you could see everyone starting to gather. So we went over. We had a lovely, lovely afternoon, although it did get very, very cold, and Nikki, the kids, and myself, we retired back to the boat quite early, but I believe the party went on for a little bit longer. Great to see the guys. We're really sad. We don't know when we're going to see everyone again, so bittersweet, but it was nice to see them. Hopefully we might be at Crick. Who knows? Now this lock is quite interesting. It does have a unique little feature. Just down there are 2 tunnels. There's one for the horses, and the horses used to go through. They used to be untied from the working boats and guided through that little tunnel. And then just to the right hand side of it is another little tunnel for the boater to jump back on. Really smart. We had fun investigating all around here yesterday. I'm sure there's loads around the network, but that little tunnel for the boater was the first one I've seen. Yeah. I like these first set of locks. We haven't been around the corner yet though, so we'll see. They are proving very heavy and difficult locks for the girls though. I have offered to do the locks as I always do, but they're troopers. They like to carry on. They won't give up. And as we come out of the lock, you'll see the little tunnel here for the boaters. There it is. It is an old, I don't know whether the boats used to moor up under there or load under there, but, and there's the horse tunnel to the right. I'm dropping down the lock. But you might be able to notice a mill there just behind me, and you'd have seen Chugs going past. Some sort of transition mill. Is one little doorway there for the old working barges to go in, and one to transship to either a tram or maybe horse-drawn carriage to move the goods. I don't know. But this weather's awful. It's raining, it's wet, and it's cold. And that's why you should always have your windows and centre hatch closed on a lock. That was quite fierce before. Well, all I can say is I am glad I am crewed, because yeah, no lock landing here, I'm afraid. I do have to say the weather is hampering our progress here. I think we're about halfway at the moment, but we've had a heavy rain, as indeed it is raining now, and it makes the locks very, very treacherous. Lily is back in the boat now, so I'm trying to help Nikki do the locks, but mainly Nikki's on her own here. She will not come on the boat, bless her, but it's not nice weather. This isn't good for doing 16 locks today. Aren't they beautiful?
See the colours in it.
Mandarin ducks. Hello, you.
Look at these. Beautiful.
Well, we're over halfway now. Lovely to see those mandarin ducks. I'm just filling this lock. Nikki has got some soup on. She made some soup yesterday. Leek and potato. Beautiful. Well, we had loads left over. So she's just on the boat now, heating it up so we can have a mug each. Nice hot mug of soup. And I'm just getting the next lock ready so as we can continue down a very wet Marple flight, but I do have to say it's the prettiest lock flight I've ever done. And just to give you an idea of the drop, you can see Chugs up there. And that's where we're going to come out, so it's a fair old drop. As you come out of this lock, it's hard to believe that there is actually a train tunnel, a train track running across underneath this pound. The engineering back then was amazing. You imagine sort of tunnelling away under a canal. I wouldn't fancy it.